Hi, Mary Jean. Oops, I can't hear you. Hold on just a moment. You'll have to unmute your microphone because I can't hear you. Hi, Colleen. How are you? Nice to see you.
Good to see you. Happy New Year. Happy Merry Christmas. All that.
All of that. Happy holiday season. Hi, Justine. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Hi, Michael.
Hey, how are you?
How's it going? Good. Doing well. How are you?
Okay, I don't know where
Oh, Lisa Dietz is here. Oh, there's Kate and Mary Jean. Hi.
Hi. There's Kate.
Yay.
And Naomi's here, and maybe.
Oh my goodness. Hi, Naomi.
Hi.
How are you?
Not really.
Not really.
You were pretty small the last time I saw you.
Yeah,
She's got to be a big girl now.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, we're gonna get to see you on Friday.
Yeah, that's
We're
right.
gonna come over, okay?
Good.
Bye.
Good. We're looking forward to it.
Me too. Me too. All right, it's almost time for class, but we have quite a few more people to log in, so we'll give it another minute or two.
Okay.
Hi, Lisa Dietz. How are you? Hi.
Oh,
And here comes
I don't know.
Natalia. Hi, Natalia.
Careful.
Nice to see you.
Okay.
Okay. So, how are we doing here? All right, we still have one more minute. We will be starting on our backs if you want to go ahead and lay down. Make sure you have anything handy that you might need for class. If you like to have a blanket for Shavasana or an eye pillow or even a washcloth to place over your eyes to block out the light. Any blocks that you like to have or any other props. Hi, Nicole. Nice to see you. Hi. Oh, yay. Amy Geller's here. Hi. Hi, Tuki. How are you? And Katie's here. Welcome. So glad to have everyone here. So you're laying down on your backs. I'm going to go ahead and make sure everyone is muted. Okay. And just lightly allow your eyelids to close. And we'll start just by noticing the breath, just following the breath in and out. We're not controlling it, we're just watching it. And then a few rounds in, start to lengthen your breath in and out. So drawing your breath in for maybe a count of 4, even 5. Welcome, Nimra, nice to see you. And exhaling for that same long count of 4 or 5. As you inhale, you're really allowing your belly to expand and fill up. And exhaling slowly and fully emptying out. Once more together, inhale, your belly expands, maybe even your rib cage and your chest will rise. And exhaling slowly and fully to empty out. So keep going with these nice long breaths. And I'll keep talking a little bit. We're in that week kind of between, post-holiday, but before New Year's. And it can be an awfully quiet week where everything, for once, slows down a little bit for most of us. So maybe thinking about, it's just a nice time to reflect on this difficult year we've had. So thinking about maybe even some things that you've learned about yourself this year. Maybe thinking about some of the things you are proud of from this year. What have you learned? Where have you grown? And then thinking about the new year that's coming up. Think of maybe 2 or 3 words that you'd like to use to describe what you hope this new year will be like, how you would like to feel in the new year. And what would you like to learn in the new year? So just thinking about those few things and perhaps setting an intention around that for this practice. And we all ask that this practice helps us to remember to try to learn from the past and to remember our accomplishments and the things we're proud of, taking stock. And hope that we all take time in the new year to learn, to grow, to be resilient, and to take care of ourselves, body, mind, and spirit. On your next inhale, you can reach your arms up and overhead and press down through your feet, stretching through your feet. Imagine that someone has a hold of your ankles and pulling in one direction, and someone else has a hold of your wrists and pulling in the other. So take one more inhale here to lengthen out. And exhale, hug your right knee into your chest. Just give it a little squeeze. You can take your hands are clasped on top of the right knee. Just sway your right leg from side to side a little bit, opening up, creating some movement into that hip joint for a moment. And then press your right foot towards the sky and hands behind your right leg now. It's okay if the right knee is bent a little bit. And you can point and flex your right foot, maybe draw some circles in the sky with your toes. Maybe draw your right leg towards you a little bit more. And then bend your right knee and go into your supine twist. Your left hand guides your body to the left and your right arm reaches off to the right. You can turn your head to the right. As your knee rolls to the left, feel this twist through your middle spine. Try to keep your right shoulder blade rooted down. And then your left hand is kind of on the top of your right knee, the outside of the right knee, and it's pressing it down towards the floor. Let's kind of change that dynamic a little bit. Press your right knee up into your left hand, and your hand resists that. So you should feel right away some engagement in your right hip. Right knee pressing up towards the sky, left hand pressing the knee down. So resisting that activation. See if you can make that a little bit stronger for one more inhale. And exhale, relax that. Draw back onto your back. Extend your right leg long on your mat. And we'll take a full body stretch again. Reach your arms up and overhead. Press down through the balls of your feet. Take a deep inhale to lengthen out. And exhale, hug your left knee into your chest, giving it a little squeeze. Your right thigh bone stays rooted down into the mat. And you can sway the left leg, the left knee from side to side a little bit here. Just introducing some motion into the hip socket. And then coming back to center, press your left foot straight up towards the sky. You can clasp your hands behind the left leg. Left knee can be softly bent if that's what your body needs. point and foot. Draw some circles with the toes. And then hug your left knee maybe a little bit closer, increasing the intensity of the stretch of the back of the leg. Take one more inhale. And on your exhale, bend your knee and go into your supine twist. So right hand guides the knee to the right, left arm reaches off to the left, turn your gaze to the left. And at first we'll just ease ourselves into this twist. Notice where you feel this. Try to keep both shoulder blades anchored down onto the mat. And then with your right hand on the outside of the left knee, we'll start to add that activation. Start to press your left knee up into the right hand, and the right hand presses the knee down. Feel the work. Feel where your body is working. Let this be strong and firm. Take one more inhale here. And exhale, soften that, roll back onto your back. You can hug both knees into your chest for a moment. And then plant your feet down on the mat. Your feet are about hip distance apart, feet are parallel, the shoulder blades flattened down onto your mat, your palms down on your mat. And on an inhale, lift your hips up towards the sky, pressing down into your feet, coming into a bridge pose. So your chin is lifted up and away from your chest a little bit, and your hips are reaching up towards the sky. You can press down into the palms, press down into the backs of your shoulders, broadening across your chest a little bit more here. Take one more inhale to lift your hips high. And exhale, slowly lower your hips back down. Let's flow this and add the arms. Inhale, lift your hips, reach your arms up and overhead. And exhale, arms float down and hips float down. And two more times. Inhale, hips rise, arms reach up and back. And exhale, hips come down, arms float down. Nice, one more time. Inhale, lift. Head. Let's hold here for a moment. Lift your hips a little higher. Reach your arms up and away from you. One more inhale and exhale, nice and slowly, lowering your hips down, lowering your arms down. Really nice. Hug knees to the chest, cross at your ankles. You can rock forward and back along your spine a couple of times here to come up into a seat, or you can find another way to come to your seat. Good. Once you're there, just your legs in that seat and sit up nice and tall. Inhale here, reach to your right hand behind you, left hand to the opposite knee. We'll pause here as you inhale, taller, reach up through the crown of. As you exhale, rotate a little bit more deeply. You can turn your gaze back, roll your shoulder back. And inhale, come back to center, reach your arms high. And exhale, twist to the other side. We'll stay here again, inhaling, stacking your spine, and exhaling, rotating a little bit more. Inhale, we come back to center, reach up. And exhale, a nice slow forward fold. Just fold over your legs, reach your fingertips forward, and let your forehead drop down. Maybe you nod your head yes here a little bit, and shake your head no. And on your next inhale, you'll slowly come back up to your seat. And you'll find your way into tabletop pose, your hands and your knees. Your wrists beneath your shoulders, your knees directly beneath your hips, and we'll take 3 rounds of cat and cow here. On an inhale, lift your heart and lift your tailbone, kind of roll your shoulders back. And as you exhale, slowly round your back, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone, press your spine towards the sky. Inhaling, heart lifting, tailbone lifting, arching the back. And exhaling slowly to round. Scoop the belly, press down into your hands. And once more, inhale, heart lifting, tailbone lifting. Exhaling slowly to round your back, tuck your chin. Inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Step your knees as wide as your mat, touch your toes in the center, and move your hips down and back for child's pose. Let your heart sink down towards your mat. Maybe your forehead rests on your mat. Maybe you stack your fists for support under your forehead. Your tailbone reaches down and back. Your hips are heavy. And remember that child's pose is always available at any time during our practice. Anytime you need a moment to pause, to rest, or restore. On your next inhale, slowly come back up to your tabletop pose. Bring your knees up. And we'll right foot straight back. Press down into the ball of the right foot and press your right heel back. So your hands are pressing down and forward, your right heel pressing back. Feel that nice calf stretch here. Hug in your lower ribs and your belly a little bit, and then lift your right leg parallel to the floor. Your foot stays flexed and the right toes point down onto the mat. Think about the crown of your head reaching forward, your right heel pressing back, your right quadriceps engaged. And if this is enough, you stay right here, or maybe you can reach left arm straight forward with your thumb point up, a balanced tabletop. Hug the ribs and low belly. So the belly is not slumping down. The belly is supporting your body. Take one more inhale, lengthen out. And on your exhale, either draw knee to nose or knee to elbow if you lifted the left arm. Inhale, reach out and extend. And exhale again, knee to elbow or knee to nose if both hands are on the floor. Once more, inhale, lengthen out. And exhale, hug the knee in. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to your tabletop. Pause for a moment. Think about your hands. Your fingers are spread a little bit here, and your hands are active. So press into the pads of all 10 of your fingers and activate the hands. And then circle the shoulder over the wrists a few times, maybe 3 slow circles in one direction. Feel your hands work and engage as you shift your weight. And then 3 slow circles in the other direction. Warming up some of the muscles of your wrists, forearms, hands. Then come back to the center and step your left foot straight back. Place the ball of your foot down. You're still pressing into the hands and pressing back into the left heel. Get that nice calf stretch here. Remember to engage your belly and hug in your lower ribs. We'll take one more inhale here. And on your exhale, float the left leg up. Your left leg stays low with hips. The downward. The crown of your head reaches forward. Your neck is long. Maybe your focal point is down on your mat, and you can stay right here, keeping the hands both on the mat, or right arm can reach straight forward. Palm faces to the side. Take another inhale here. And on your exhale, either elbow to knee or knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen out, extend. And exhale, elbow to knee or nose. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, knee hugs in. And once more, inhale, lengthen out. This time we're going to hold it here for a moment. Hug in your belly, hug in your low ribs. Press the left foot back, reach the right arm forward. One more inhale. And exhale, come back to your tabletop pose. Really nice. Tuck onto your toes. Lift your knees off your mat and forward to the top of your, find a forward here. You can soften your knees and let your head and neck go. Maybe take a gentle sway from side to side here. You can nod your head yes and shake your head no, feeling this length through the backs of your legs. And coming back to stillness, back to center. And on an inhale, rise halfway to a flat back. Hands come to your legs for support. Your jaw back, your tailbone reaches back. Let's pause here for a moment. Feet are rooted down, low belly and low ribs hugging in here, just like we did in tabletop and this balance table. We'll take one more inhale in this halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Again, you can soften your knees. Inhale, slowly rise, reach all the way up for the sky. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Standing in your mountain pose for a moment. You can close your eyes for a moment. Everything is stacked. You're rooting down into your feet. And take one here, thinking of those 2 or 3 words that you would like to feel or like to have describe your new year. We would like to grow. We would like to learn. We would like to be resilient, balanced, and centered. Inhale, reach both arms high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway to your flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly rise and reach up again. This time at the top, clasp your hands. Your pointer fingers point up. Let's take one more inhale here. Really reach up for the sky. And on your exhale, side bend to your right. Your hips can jut out to one side as you lean over to the other side. Then inhale, draw back to center, reaching up. And exhale, side bend to your left. Beautiful. Inhaling back to center, reaching up. Nice, Naomi. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway to your flat back. Exhale, plant both hands down on your mat and step back to a high plank. We'll pause a moment. So again, your low belly and low ribs hugging in. We're not letting the belly sink down. We're engaged from the core. We're pressing thigh bones up towards the sky. You can come down onto your knees here if this is too much. Take one more inhale in your plank. And on your exhale, lower your knees, untuck your toes, and with control, slowly lower all the way down to your belly. Nice. Inhale, lift head and shoulders, roll your shoulders back for a low cobra pose. So we're not pressing and lifting really high. We're staying low. We'll lift our hands off the mat. So arms are hovering off the floor. Arms are kind of in a goal post shape, and we're pressing down into our pelvis. On our next inhale, see if you can lift head and shoulders even higher, even lift the arms. It's kind of arms like wings opening up. And on your exhale, plant your hands beneath your shoulders, back onto the mat. Inhale, lift up into just a little bit higher cobra pose. Roll your shoulders back, but your pelvis is down. Exhale, move through a tabletop pose. Tuck on two toes, down dog. Lifting your back into that inverted V shape. So pausing here, take any movements here that feel good to you. You can pedal out the legs, bending one knee and then the other. You could try swaying your hips slowly side to side. And you could try bending both knees deeply and straightening them again. So just if you see what feels good in your body, you're kind of exploring here. And then come to stillness in your down dog. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, soften your knees, look forward and step back to the top of your mat. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Soften your knees, let your head and neck go. Inhale, rise halfway to that flat back again. Shoulders move away from your earlobes. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly rise, reach all the way up for the sky. And on your exhale, find those cactus arms again and lift your heart and lift your gaze. Your hips can press forward, your heart looks towards the sky. Inhale, both arms rise again. Exhale, a nice slow forward fold. Take your time moving with your whole breath. Inhale, rise halfway to a flat back. Exhale, plant your hands down and step it back for high plank pose again. Your wrists are right beneath your shoulders. Your feet are hip distance apart. And your hips are just about shoulder height. They're not piking up really high and they're not sinking down. Just right there in the middle where you feel like a long, straight plank. Take one more inhale. Exhale, lower your knees, untuck your toes. That's super slow motion to your belly. Hug your elbows in and take your time. Good. Inhale, lift up to a low cobra pose. Roll your shoulders back. Exhale, find your way to downward facing dog. You can move through a tabletop first and tuck your toes and lift the hips. So think about your hands again. In down dog, we are activating the hands just like I had you do in tabletop. Press into the pads of your fingers. Your fingers are spread a little bit. Don't let the pointer fingers get lazy. You want to activate those too. Think about lifting your hip creases up and back. Now, if you need to bend your knees here because hamstrings are tight or for whatever reason, that is perfectly okay. We're focusing on lengthening the spine here and sending the hips further back. So if knees bent makes that more accessible, please do that. Take one more inhale in down dog. Shoulders are really working here. Exhale, we'll step to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhaling, rise halfway to your flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And slowly rise, reach all the sky. Exhale, that's standing back, bend again, cactus your arms, lift your heart and lift your gaze. Inhale, high. Exhale, fold. Good. Pause in your forward fold for a moment with soft knees. There seems to be a little bit of a delay. I'm just going to check really quick to make sure that my Wi-Fi is working at its best. So excuse me just for a moment. It's going to be a little bit better. Sorry about that. Okay, thank you. On your next inhale, come back halfway, lift to that flat back. Nice. Exhale, plant your hands down, step it back for high plank pose. Good. I think that's better. Inhale, high plank pose. Exhale, lower your knees and lower yourself. Maybe only halfway down this time for a knees down chaturanga, or maybe go to your belly. Good. Inhale, lift your heart for your back bend. Nice, Michael. Good, Nimra. Exhale, downward facing dog. So you should feel pretty warm by now. We've done a couple sun salutation A's. So just see how your body feels here. Hands pressing down and forward. See if you can create a little space between your shoulders and your ears. So broadening the upper back a little bit. Good. Let's take one more inhale in down dog. Exhale, step to the top of your mat, forward fold. Nice. Inhale, rise halfway to your flat back, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, reach all the way up to the sky. And exhale, this time sink down into a chair pose. Bend your knees, sink your hips. Your weight comes into your heels. There's length in the low back. So again, low ribs and low belly hugging in. Take one more inhale here. Legs are working. Exhale, fold down and step your right foot a giant step back for a low lunge. So left knee is stacked over left ankle. You may need to scoot your right foot back further to find that shape. You're up high on your fingertips. We'll take an inhale here. Your heart draws forward. Exhale, plant down into the right hand and twist to your left. Left arm nice and high, opening up, expanding here. One more inhale. Exhale, left hand down and right knee lowers down to your mat. Good. Inhale, arms sweep up and back for a low crescent lunge. We'll pause here for a moment. You can always fold over the right side of your mat to double cushion under the knee if knees are sensitive. Your hips might sink down and forward a little bit here, but we're really focusing on lifting the rib cage up and away from the hips. You can lift your heart and lift your gaze and feel that length through your right hip flexors. Take one more inhale here, reaching up. And on your exhale, float your hands down to your mat. We're going to stay here for a second. Start to straighten your left knee and move your hips to the back of your mat. So your left toes will rise and the left leg gets long, a stretch through the back of the leg. Your hands can move to wherever they support you best. Take an inhale, your heart draws forward here. Exhale, fold over your left leg. You can let your forehead drop down. Let's take one more breath here. Inhale, lengthen your heart forward over the leg a little more. And exhale, maybe you can fold down a little bit deeper. On your inhale, stepping forward again, bring your hands forward. Lift your right knee off the mat. And plant your right foot down, setting up for warrior two. So right toes point off to the right. The heel is down, and we'll inhale, rise up, cartwheel the arms up and over for warrior two. Beautiful. So left toes point straight forward. Right toes point off to the side. Bend your left knee deeply. Actively press down and back into the outside edge of right foot. There's a little softness in the shoulders, and the shoulders are stacked over your hips. On your next inhale, we'll flow this a little bit here. Inhale, straighten your left knee, reach your arms up and overhead. And exhale, bend the knees, sink back down, warrior two. Beautiful. Inhale, left knee straightens, arms rise. Exhale, bend your knees, sink back down. Nice, one more time. Inhale, rise and reach. Exhale, warrior two. Pause here. On your inhale, reverse warrior, left arm high and right hand down to the back leg. And we're gonna hold this here. On your exhale, bend your left knee deeper. Good. Inhale, reach the left arm up and back. Exhale, cartwheel your hands all the way down to frame your foot and step back for high plank pose. Inhaling in high plank. Exhale, lower your knees, untuck your toes. This time we're all going down to our bellies, so take your time to lower there. You can use your strength to come down slowly. And then reach both arms forward with the palms down like Superman arms. Arms can be on the mat to start. The tops of the feet pressing down to start and your pelvis pressing down. And we're going to work kind of across the body here. So on your next breath, lift your right leg and your left arm. The crown of your head is still reaching forward. I want length through the back of the neck. Right foot reaching back, left arm reaching forward. Take one more inhale. Maybe you can lift a little higher. And on your exhale, lower that down. On your inhale, left leg lifts and right arm lifts. Crown of the head still lengthening forward. Both your arm and your leg are long. One more inhale, lifting up a little bit more. And exhale, coming back down. One more time each side. Inhale, right leg and left arm lift. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, left leg and right arm lift. And exhale, bring that back down. This time, inhale, lift both arms off the mat at the same time. Keep both legs down. See if you can pause and hold here. Muscles of your back working hard. One more inhale. Exhale to lower down. And then we'll do the legs. Inhale, lift your legs off the mat. Maybe see how it feels to bring your heels to touch, and then see if you can lift a little bit higher. You can press down into your hands. Take one more inhale, lift your legs, and exhale, release and lower. Bend your elbows and stack your hands right underneath your forehead. Place your forehead down onto your stacked hands. Bend both knees and slowly sway your lower legs from side to side. Still breathing here evenly and slowly. And then bring your toes back down to your mat. Bring your hands back down beneath your shoulders. Press yourself through a tabletop pose. Take an inhale and exhale, downward facing dog. So exploring your down dog again. Can you feel a little deeper into the pose? Your hip creases lift up and back a little bit more, and your heart draws towards the thighs a little bit more. Beautiful. Really nice, Hiba. Take one more inhale in your down dog. Exhale, step forward to the top of your mat. Find your forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly rise, reach all the way up. Exhale, cactus your arms, lift your heart, broaden across your chest. Inhale, both arms rise. Exhale, sit down into your chair pose. So move slowly and mindfully. The low back is straight, so the tailbone is reaching more down than it is back. We don't want a big arch here. And again, the ribs and belly are hugging in. Maybe bring your hips lower if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more. Take one more inhale in chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold down and step your left foot this time all the way back for that low lunge on the other side. So come up high on your fingertips for support. Fingertips right underneath your shoulders. We'll take an inhale here. Heart draws forward. You feel that stretch through the left hip flexors. And on your exhale, we'll twist to the right. Maybe the left palm comes down now and right arm high. Yes, expand here. Rotate your right rib cage towards the sky. Keep your left leg strongly engaged, left thigh bone pressing up towards the sky. Take one more inhale to expand. And exhale, right hand down, left knee lowers down. Inhale, arms sweep up, overhead, low crescent lunge. Remember, you can fold over the side of your mat to double cushion your knee if needed. A lot of people need that. And we're emphasizing that lift of the rib cage up and away from the hips. Let's take a deep inhale. Look up towards the sky, reach your arms up, lift your rib cage, lift your heart. One more inhale. Exhale, float your hands down, fingertips to your mat. Bend, or straighten rather your right knee, move your hips towards the back of your mat. Your right toes lift off the mat to get that nice stretch through the back of the right leg. Move your hands to support you wherever they best will do that. And on an inhale, lengthen your heart forward over your leg. And exhale, fold slowly down towards your leg. We'll move with the breath again. Inhale, the heart draws forward, lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold just a little bit deeper. Inhale, step forward into your foot, bring your hands forward, lift your left knee, coming back to your low lunge. And then we'll plant the left foot down, setting up for warrior two. Left toes point off to the side. And on our inhale, we'll cartwheel up and over for warrior two. And then of course, I'm gonna turn around, but of course, once you get there, take your time to really land in the pose. So the distance between your feet, front and back on the mat, if it's longer, or wider, however you want to look at it, that's more intensity. If your back foot is closer to your front foot, that's a little less intensity. So you can play around with that and see how that goes. Bend your right knee a little deeper. Press the right knee to the right a little bit. It tends to want to fall to the left. Your shoulders are stacked over your hips. Gaze over the front fingers. And we'll take our little flow here. On an inhale, straighten the right knee, reach your arms high. Exhale, sink back down, warrior two, bend your knee. Inhale, slowly rise and reach. Exhale, just as slowly bend the knee, sink back down. And one more time, inhale to rise, right leg straightens. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior, right arm high, left hand down to the back leg. We'll stay here. Exhale, bend your right knee deeper. Yes. Inhale, reach the right arm further up and back. And on your exhale, cartwheel your hands all the way down to frame your foot, and we'll step it back, high plank pose. Take an inhale in high plank. Exhale, lower your knees. You can take a half knees down chaturanga, or you can lower to your belly, see what works for you. Inhale, lift up into a cobra pose. Maybe you come higher by now that we're warm. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take your time to get there, and we all will meet there as we're ready. Remember your active hands, fingers spread a little bit, pressing into the palms of all 10 fingers. Maybe you feel a little lift right in the center of your palm. Let's take one more inhale in down dog. Exhale, step to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway to your flat back. Exhale to fold. We're going to pause here for a moment. Bring your fingertips to your mat right beneath your shoulders. You can bend your knees as much as you need to find that. I want all 10 fingers connected to the mat one way or another. And then step your right foot back behind you, but you're pointing your toes, so your toes are tapping the mat. Left knee can be bent as much as you need it to be. And when you're ready, on an inhale, lift your right leg. You're kind of floating it off the mat, just like we did in balanced table at the beginning of practice. This time we're keeping all 10 fingers on the mat. We're lifting through our right heel. We're keeping our hips nice and level, and the low ribs and low belly are hugging in. See how high you can lift that right leg. Keep the right leg long and strong. You should feel your hamstrings working here. Take one more inhale. And on your exhale, tap the right toes down to the mat. And inhale, lift the leg again. 2 more times. Exhale, tap the right toes down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to tap. Inhale to lift. And exhale, step the right foot forward, forward fold. Soften your knees, letting your head go. On an inhale, rise halfway to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly rise, reach up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, we'll fold all the way down again. Soften your knees. Plant all 10 fingertips on the mat right beneath the shoulders. Your knees can be bent as much as you need. Start to shift your weight into the right foot. Now step the left foot back. The leg is long. Your toes are pointed and tapping down towards the mat. And once you feel kind of stable here, again, right knee can be bent as much as you need to get all 10 fingers down. Float that left leg off the mat. Feel your body working here. Right leg is working to support you. Left leg is working to lift. Try to keep length still through the spine and through the back of the neck, and work to lift that left leg as high as you can. Feel the hamstrings working. We're holding here. Take one more inhale, lift the leg higher, and exhale, tap the left toes down. Leg stays long. Inhale, lift the leg high. Exhale, tapping down. Try to keep your hips level. Once more, inhale, lift the leg, hold it, and exhale, step the left foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway to your flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly rise, reach all the way up. Exhale, sit down into your chair pose. Your weight comes into your heels, your hips are way back. Take one more inhale. Exhale, fold down and step your right foot all the way back for that low lunge again. This time we'll heel toe our left foot a little wider. You're high on the fingertips again. And on this inhale, we'll slowly rise up for a high crescent lunge. So we're on the ball of the back foot. Left knee is just about stacked over the ankle. Hips and shoulders are square to the top of the mat, and biceps are just about in line with the ears. Bring your focus again back to your low belly and low ribs. We don't want low ribs thrusting forward. Draw them in, hug in your belly. Reach up through your arms, really nice. Take a deep inhale here. And on your exhale, float your arms down and back alongside you and lean forward over the front thigh and hover here for a moment. And then inhale, we'll rise back up for high crescent lunge. Again, exhale, arms float down and back. Your chest and belly hover over the front leg. And inhale to rise. I know this is challenging. We're going to do this one more time. Exhale, float arms down and back. This time, come up high onto the back toes. Step that back foot forward. You're drawing your heart forward and see if maybe possibly you can float that right leg off the mat, and then maybe you tap your toes back down. You're leaning forward, you're trying to balance, right leg lifts and tap it down. And one more time, left leg is really working, right leg lifts for this kind of warrior three shape. And on your exhale, step the right foot forward, come back to mountain pose. Yes, left side really worked here. So let's stretch that out. Soften into both knees. Bring your hands to your heart. Shift your weight to your right foot and bring your left ankle to the top of the right knee. Move your hips down and back. Come into a figure four stretch. You can certainly put one hand on a chair or a desk, the back of your couch, the wall, anything that's nearby to help with balance. The purpose we're really going for here, yes, we want to work on balance, but we also are getting this big stretch through the left hip. And if you fall out, like I just did, it's no big deal. We just come back, find a focal point, and sink the hips lower, just as low as you can go. You're in charge of how intense this is. Let's take one more deep inhale in figure four. And on your exhale, we'll uncross and come back to standing mountain pose. Good. Inhale, reach both arms high. Exhale, a nice slow forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway to your flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, reach all the way up for the sky. Exhale, cactus your arms, standing back bend. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, sit down into your chair pose. We won't stay here long this time. Inhale in chair pose. Exhale, fingertips down, and this time your left foot steps all the way back for that low lunge to start. Heel toe your right foot wider. This will create a wider, more stable base. And when you feel ready, we'll inhale and rise up for high crescent lunge. This is a balancing pose. So track your eyes onto a focal point. You can always take that right foot even wider, hugging in the low ribs, hugging in the low belly, shoulders stacked over your hips. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, float your arms down and back and hover your belly over your front thigh. You're leaning forward. And inhale, rise back up. Exhale again, arms float down and back, chest hovers over the leg. And inhale, rise. And once more, exhale, float the arms down and back. You're hovering over your front thigh. We'll step the back foot forward a step, point the toes, shift your weight into your right foot. Those left toes could really stay down the whole time, or you can inhale and lift that left leg and exhale, tap the toes down. You're leaning forward. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, tap the toes down. And once more, inhale, lift the leg. Maybe you can stay in this warrior three shape for a moment, maybe not. And when you're ready, you'll step that left foot forward for mountain pose. Beautiful, you guys. That was a lot of work on that right side, right? So let's stretch that out again. Let's take an inhale, reach our arms high. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll shift our weight to the left foot, soften the knees deeply, and bring right ankle this time to left knee and move your hips down and back. Lengthening that outer right hip, the glutes that we worked so much. You can flex your right foot here. Keep the length in your spine. You're still lifting your heart, lengthening through your neck and through the crown of your head. To get lower, we bend the left knee a little deeper and we hinge at our hips a little bit more. So you're in control of the intensity of the stretch. You can always reach out to a wall or a chair to help with balance. Maybe only one finger to the chair or the wall. This can still really help work your balancing muscles. And on your next inhale, we'll slowly rise up, bring that right foot down. Beautiful. Inhale, reach both arms high. Exhale, a nice slow forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway to a flat back. Exhale, plant your hands down and step it back for a high plank pose. Take an inhale in high plank. Exhale, lower your knees and tuck your toes, lower all the way to your bellies here. Lay your arms down alongside you with your palms down. Press into the tops of your feet. And on an inhale, lift head and shoulders and arms coming up into this half locust pose. You can hug your triceps towards the midline, press down into your pelvis, and lift your legs too. Heels can touch. So really working the muscles of the back body today. Keep that length through the back of the neck, but you're still lifting the back of the heart, the back of the head. The legs are lifting, the arms are lifting. One more inhale in locust pose. Stick with it. And exhale, lower down. You can rest one cheek on your mat, bend both knees, and sway your lower legs from side to side. And then come back to stillness. Let's bring the feet back to the mat. We're going to do one more round of locust pose. So on an inhale, lift head and shoulders, lift your arms. And as you're ready, lift the legs too. The inner feet can come to touch. You're pressing down into the pelvis. You're lifting your legs. See if even your thigh bones can come off the mat. Take one more inhale. Reach your hands back. Lift as much as you can. And exhale, slowly lower. Bring your opposite cheek to the mat. You can bend the knees again and sway the lower legs from side to side. Then come to stillness. Keep your knees bent now and hug your heels towards your hips here and reach back first with one hand to one foot and then reach back the other hand to the other foot. Then kind of take notice of where your thighs are. Are they splaying out? Try to keep the knees in line with the hips. So knees reaching straight back. You can maybe flex your feet a little bit, your hands right there by the ankles. If you can't catch the feet, which is normal, you're just gonna reach, keep reaching and keep hugging the heels towards you. This is still really good work and still lengthens your quads. If you do have a hold of your feet, start to press your feet into your hands and your hands into your feet. Roll your shoulders back and your thighs lift up off the mat a little bit. Keep hugging the thighs towards the midline. Imagine you're squeezing like a mini beach ball between the thighs into your bow pose. Get a nice stretch through the quads, get a heart opening. You're broadening across your chest here. Take one more inhale to lift. And exhale, slowly lower back down. Lay your arms down and you can sway the lower legs from side to side one more time. A nice back bend there. And bring your toes back to your mat. Bring your palms beneath your shoulders once again. Press yourself up to a tabletop pose. Take your knees. Actually, let's do one round of cat and cow here before we move on. So inhale, lift your heart and lift your tailbone. You're arching your back. Then exhale, slowly rounding your back, tucking your chin and tucking your tailbone. And maybe you want to stay here for a moment, pressing your spine towards the sky, tucking the chin, press down into your hands. And then as you're ready, find your child's pose. Take your knees wide, your toes touch, hips move down and back. Your heart sinks down towards your mat. Your forehead can rest. And breathe. What are those three qualities that you hope to have in the new year? And what are three things that you are proud of, or three things that you've learned from the year that has passed? I encourage you to take some quiet time for reflection this week. And on your next breath, you'll slowly come back up into a tabletop pose. Sweep your hips to one side, bring your legs out from under you. And we'll bring the bottoms of the feet together and the knees out to the side for a Baddha Konasana. You can wrap your hands around your feet, your toes. Take an inhale, grow nice and tall here. And on your exhale, hinge and fold forward. You're leading with your heart and then letting your forehead drop down. And maybe here you nod your head yes and shake your head no. You can press your knees actively down towards the floor. Let's take one more inhale. Our hearts draw forward. One more exhale. We fold just a little bit deeper. And as we inhale, we come back up to seated. Use your hands to draw your knees back together. Plant your feet down on the mat. Reach your arms forward and lean back. Engage your core and lift your legs for a boat pose, Navasana. Let's hold here for a moment. We're strengthening the core. We're balancing here. Take one more inhale to lift the legs. And exhale, your feet come down, and then slowly find your way all the way down onto your back. With your knees bent, step your feet as wide as your mat. Bring your arms out into cactus arms and let your knees fall over to the right as you turn your head to the left. Both shoulder blades stay rooted down here. Let your left knee get nice and heavy. Feel that length through the hip flexors. If you'd like to try a little bit of a deeper stretch here, you could bring your right ankle to the top of the left knee, the outside of the left knee, to increase that length. Just an option. Your breaths are long and slow. And each exhale, you try to soften and relax a little bit more. And then we'll slowly release that and bring the knees back to center. And then we'll take the knees over to the left now and turn the gaze, turn your head to the right. Right shoulder blade stays down. Right knee gets heavy. And perhaps you bring that left ankle to the outside of that right knee to deepen. Be proud of yourself tonight for taking this time out to practice yoga. Maybe think of 3 words here, 3 qualities that describe how you feel right now. Slowly release that, bring your knees back to center. Hug your knees into your chest. And we'll take a happy baby pose. Reach for the edges of your feet, take your knees a little wider, and a gentle rock from side to side. Eyes can be closed. The muscles of your face relaxed around your brow, your jaw. And then hug your knees to your chest one last time. Extend your legs long onto the mat and reach your arms up and overhead for a final full body stretch. Take a deep inhale to get long here. And on your exhale, let it go. Lay your arms down alongside you with your palms facing up. Let your shoulder blades flatten out onto your mat. If you'd like to grab a sweater or blanket or anything that would make you more comfortable, please take a moment to do that. And allow yourself to get fully comfortable in our final resting pose, Shavasana. Give yourself permission to simply rest. There's nowhere to go and nothing to do. If you would like to stay in Shavasana for longer, I encourage you to do that. But if it is time for you to come back, you'll start slowly by deepening your breath, inviting small movements to your fingers and your toes. Maybe gently rolling your head from side to side. And then slowly finding your way onto your right side, using your arm to cradle your head. Coming into this comfortable side lying position. And take a moment to reflect on your practice, to be grateful for it. Perhaps noticing a deeper sense of calm. And on your next breath, you'll gently press yourself up to your comfortable seat. Your legs crossed and your eyes closed. Your hands can come together in front of your hearts and lower your chins. I'd like to thank each one of you so very much for sharing in this practice tonight. It's such an honor to be your teacher. May you be happy. May you be free. May you be loved. Namaste. Thanks so much, everyone. Thank you, Nicole, Tuki. Thanks, Natalia and Justine. Thanks, Colleen.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure having you here. Thanks, Lisa, Mary Jane, and Kate. Thank you. Thanks, Amy Geller. Thanks, Nimra and Hiba. It's so nice to have you here.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you. Michelle, do you have a second? I wanted to talk to you about your wellness series.
I'd love to talk to you. Yes.
I was interested in it too, actually.
Oh, we'll stay on.
I kind of, when I saw it, when you first offered it, I was like, oh, I'm going to get back to that. I'm going to sign up for it. And I just went back yesterday and it was sold out, which is wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you. To my great surprise.
Yeah. So I was wondering, it mentioned in the site, you were thinking about offering it again, later. Are you still doing that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We did have a very good response, and it was really to our surprise. I was kind of like, if I could get 25 people, that would be amazing. And, we didn't think we were going to have to cap it. And then all of a sudden we had 38 and I was like, wow, I want people to feel seen and heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it definitely, we're learning as we go. This is our, we're just introducing the wellness and we're very, very excited about it. And pleased at the response. So for sure.
Okay.
We will be offering it again. I also, you could email me or tell me now any suggestions, things that you'd like to see in the future in the wellness realm, because this program, which I do hope to offer like 3 times a year, it's a 6-week commitment.
Yeah.
I think I also, which I think is important because that's how you change habits is with, long-term working on them. At the same time, like shorter ones that maybe seem a little bit less to chew off, like a 7-day this or a 2-week that, something short, like anything that you are interested in, we're developing the program. So I would love feedback and interest, because we want to serve the needs of you guys, of our clients.
I mean, just as you mentioned that, I can think about like, some people might be interested in like a 7-day cleanse or like a 7-day reboot or things like that might be helpful too. I do like the idea of, I saw the site, we can also utilize your skills individually, which is good to know. But I also thought like, for me, I think the collectiveness of it might hold me a little bit more accountable. So I think I like a series, I think in a community, I think it might keep me more on track. So,
well, that makes me so happy inside that you are interested. And I feel terrible that people got shut out. I know that I had other people reach out to me and I feel so badly, but I do want the people that sign up to, I want to be able to manage it. And I don't want people to feel like they're not getting what they need.
It definitely, it's better to do it like in a number that's manageable and it almost feels like a small group. If it gets too big, you're right. You lose a lot in translation. So that's, I think, Yeah. No, I honestly could admit I played myself. I was like, I have all the time in the world. I'm going to get to it. And then I was like, oh, I guess
I know. We got to the point, like, we had so many people sign up so quickly. We were like, let's stop promoting it. You know, it was crazy and wonderful and wonderful. So
Yeah. No, I'm
for
sure it's
sure, for
yeah.
sure.
Really well. Obviously, people are really excited about it. So thank you for offering it. And when
So
you
happy to.
series, I will definitely be signing up first.
Yeah.
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 Do you need Facebook do you need to be on Facebook in order to be join the group, or because I'm
So
not
the
on
way the way this is set up, it is through Facebook.
Okay.
Now, if you don't have Facebook at all,
Yeah.
you could create an account and like not like make friends with anyone and
Yeah.
just get in the group and not worry about any other Facebook thing.
Right. Right.
And what I'm doing, because like for instance, my mother-in-law and my aunt and her sister are doing it, and like my mother-in-law cannot do Facebook. Like it's very challenging for her. So, and I will do this every time. I'm going to create the private Facebook group like 10 days early. And I'll just start to put a couple things out there so that people can get it who aren't as comfortable in Facebook can get an idea of how it's going to work so that they won't miss anything at the beginning because they're feeling unaccustomed to it.
Okay.
Okay, great.
So that's the plan.
Hey.
And I do think, you know, we'll have to look and see when things get back to normal and we can be back in the studio. I mean, I personally think the private Facebook group will work for a lot of people because you can access the information at your own pace. It's not like every week we all have to drag ourselves to the studio. And, you know, I feel like that's harder to commit to for some people. For other people, it might give them more accountability. So it's something we have to think about. But, you know, I think, again, that's another point. If that's something in the future that you would like to see in person, that we might meet once a week or once a month or something, it's something that we could look at as well in the future.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Congratulations
Thank you
on
guys.
this.
Oh my gosh. Thank you
Terrific.
so very much. I appreciate your support.
Yes.
And I love having you guys in class.
Yeah. Happy
All
New Year.
right.
Yeah, happy
Thank
New
you.
Year.
You too. Happy New Year to all of you.
I'm in for that next time. I'm out of the loop.
Yay.
I'm definitely out of the loop because I didn't know about it until right now.
Oh,
so I'm gonna go like
you're
I want
not
to
on Facebook either.
No, I guess I gotta go, you know, get on Tony's and look at it.
Yeah.
So.
Or Instagram too. But
okay. Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm not on that either. I also spy on his account. So
yeah.
but that's cool. Next time I'm in. I don't know what it is,
Okay,
but I'm
awesome.
in.
I'll try to remember to reach out like, hey, this is coming up. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks.
All right. Have a great
Happy
evening,
New
you
Year.
guys.
You too.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Bye.
Bye.